Well, firstly, I want to thank everyone for joining today, taking time out of their busy day. And the purpose of this whole webinars is to provide you some value. We like to give back where we can. So as valued customers of PSI brand, we thank you again for being a customer, and we thank you for joining today. As you may all know, I'm Jim Crawshaw of PSI brand, General Manager here. So glad to be with you. One thing that I really stipulate during these webinars is that you bang your cameras on, because in a seminar or something like that, I'll be standing there looking at all your wonderful faces. But at the moment, all I'm looking at is these placards that has got your initial on it, which I kind of find a little unhuman on this little platform. So the only excuse I'll give you is if you're joining off something that doesn't have a camera on it. I'd also like to see a bit of a thumbs up once you're all on there, just to make sure you can hear us okay. Nothing worse than getting partway through a webinar and finding out that you've just been miming the whole way through. So if we could get a couple of thumbs uppies or messages on there just to make sure we're all good.
Hey Jim, we just got a message from Paul Harris that that the attendees cannot turn on their cameras. They haven't been granted the right.
Oh, okay.
I've just seen this. So I'm just allowing. It seems you have to do it on an individual basis. So just going through and allowing everybody's camera to come on. So
Oh well, nothing like
flick
making
them
it
on.
hard.
I don't know, right? So just flick them on when you're ready, guys. If you feel comfortable doing so.
There you go. Cool. And as we popped in the chat there, nice, good to see those thumbs up. Awesome stuff. Love it. And yeah, as mentioned in the message there, pop your questions in the chat, and if it's appropriate, we'll answer it at the time. Otherwise, we'll wait to the end just to jump through some of those. There will be a recording as well, so we'll send that through to all of you, so you can use as a resource to share with the rest of your team and turn back on. But yeah, as PSI brand, I just want to really touch on the fact that we've had this really strong relationship with Stoner since 2020. It was born out of crisis in the times of COVID, turning to webinars and online resources. But a very special mention for our honourable guest here with us today, Mr. Tom Muldowney. Of over 26 years in the industry, and 16 of them being with Stoner itself. So the man has got the answer for most things. So yeah, we'd like to turn to him if there's any of those curly questions. So yeah, I guess moving on, we can start moving through the slides. But yeah, as many of you will know, PSI brand is all about branding for keeps. Easy, making that process as easy as possible. With our roots in rotomoulding, 25 plus years ago, we used to be rotomolders. So everything we do now is to add value, bring value to rotomolders. And we do that through branding systems such as logo, warning and safety, track and traceability, through QR codes, barcodes, RFID, and then online training and masterclasses as well. And what we're here today is to talk about the mold surface coatings, partner with Stoner. So at this point, I'm going to hand it on to Tom, and let him introduce himself and tell us a bit about Stoner.
Thank you, Jim, and thanks to you and Sam for hosting this event. So I'm Tom Muldowney. I'm coming to you from Hong Kong. It's 9 a.m. here. The stock market hasn't opened yet, so plenty of time to learn about rotomoulding. So let's get right into it, Sam. So first, what I'm going to share with you over this next 35 minutes is who is Stoner, what our history and mission are. We're quite a unique company because we probably have the broadest array of molding products in the industry. And then we're going to drill down on one of our biggest markets in Asia Pacific, the US and Europe, and that's rotomoulding. And we're going to share with you some of our products that solve rotational molding problems and give you some real rotational case histories. Okay, so let's get started. So Stoner is obviously an unusual name. A lot of my customers, English is not their first language. And so the reason that we're called Stoner is it's a family name. The gentleman that you see there is Paul Stoner. He started our company in 1942. He was actually a chemical engineer born in 1914. And at that time, there weren't a lot of chemical engineers in the United States, let alone people who were university educated. So he quickly became a problem solver, and he started his own business making inks, paint, and soon after mold release as the plastics industry grew. So we're a unique company because mold release has a lot of innovative entrepreneurs that develop products, and also big companies like 3M and DuPont. And we develop our own technology in-house with our PhD chemists, but we also acquire technology and integrate it into our company to offer you diverse solutions. So let's go to the next one, please. So we're located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we have two primary facilities. One of them is our headquarters and manufacturing plant. And then in Lancaster, we have our distribution center, which ships globally, and it's right off of a major interstate. And we ship internationally, both out of East Coast and West Coast ports to about 80 countries around the world. Okay. And this is an interesting story. In the 1980s, U.S. business or industries were kind of floundering, and the Japanese were killing us on quality. So Stoner decided as a technology company to become excellent at quality. So we started participating in these local quality events and regional quality events. And by 2019, we became ISO certified so that we could sell in Indonesia in the retail market. And we got, I've been with Hinkle, 3M, Loctite over my career, all ISO certified companies. And typically it takes 6 months to maybe a year. Well, Stoner did it in 3 months because we had won the Malcolm Baldrige Award about 15 years earlier. And we were the smallest company ever to win that award. That's been won by companies like Motorola, Boeing, and it's given by the President of the United States. So quality and process have been cornerstones of Stoner for the last 3 decades. Okay. And I mentioned we have a broad array of solutions. So we make products for the injection molding market. And what's unique about Stoner is we actually fill all of our own aerosols in our ISO certified factory. Some of our competitors that offer, for example, flow promoters, they have other people fill their aerosols. Of course, today we're talking about rotational molding. Our other big market is in composites, where we make paste waxes, 2 different brands that have the majority market share in paste wax for the composites industry worldwide. We also make unique products for rubber. So when you lift the hood of your car, all of those belts and hoses, their chances are they were released with one of our rubber releases. We have some unique products for polyurethane. And then investment casting is a big business for us where jet turbines or even golf club heads are released with our investment casting products. Okay, next one, please. So today we're going to talk about rotational molding, and we have a complete system. So it starts with the mold cleaner to the mold release to enhancing the surface and then protecting the mold. And it's a continuous system, and with regular use, our customers get more releases and they have cleaner molds with better finished parts. So let's start with the mold cleaner. Larry Whittemore, who runs this business, has over 30 years experience in plastics. He was the chairman of the rotational molding group in the US. And he learned about this product and developed this application. We have a concentrated product called all-purpose cleaner, and it's water-based, and it's a wonderful product because it's non-flammable. You can dilute it as you need it. It's very cost-effective, and it safely removes grease, oil, dirt, grime, and specifically the resin that builds up on rotational molds. Okay. And so it's water-based, there's no solvents, and it's ready to use. So you can dilute it, put it in a spray bottle, and use it as you need it. Okay, so let's go to the next one, please. And so we're going to show you a couple of case histories. Glenn, who you'll see up above, Glenn Gu in Hong Kong, he's our sales manager for the China's business. And he's from Shanghai. He spends a lot of his time in China. And this is a case study that we got from our business in China. So we had a rotational molder in Guangzhou, and this is what their molds look like. They were covered with pigment and mold release. And really, it was because they seldom cleaned the molds. Regular cleaning gives you the best parts and the cleanest molds. Okay, let's go to the next one, please. So you saw the before, this is the after. They mixed up this product, and these were on molds that had possibly never been cleaned. It said for 5 years, but I have a feeling that they were never cleaned. And so it took about 10 minutes, a water-based non-flammable product, spray it on, let it dwell, hit it with a scrubby, and that's what it looked like after cleaning. Okay. So again, there's the before and after. So this is a wonderful, cost-effective, easy-to-use product. Okay. And so here's another one closer to Stoner's home in Pennsylvania. So there was a company that made outdoor playground equipment, and their molds were also covered with resin, and they were using a solvent-based cleaner. There are a lot of issues with flammability, possible carcinogens, and worker safety. And actually, the solvent was quite slow. And so Larry went in and demonstrated this product, and we'll show you the result in a second. And then there was another rotational molder in China that was also using a solvent-based cleaner. Glenn and I know well, because we're close to China, that getting DG or flammable products into China or moving them around China is highly regulated and getting increasingly difficult because there have been so many port explosions in China. So this rotational molding was using paint thinner or even acetone to clean the molds, and we showed them a safer alternative. So in both cases, 2 and 3, the one in Pennsylvania and the one in China, we introduced A5338, our water-based product, and they switched to it because it eliminated flammable solvent-based products, but more importantly, it cleaned better and quicker. And so This shows the after. Let's go to the next one. And we're going to show you a little video, and these are also on the Stoner YouTube channel. And it's literally that easy to use that product. Okay, so let's get into step 2, the release. So Stoner has Trisis 420, which is a water-based semi-permanent release that's really become the industry standard for things like potable water tanks, for kayaks, and it's a remarkable product because a lot of rotomolders will apply it on Monday morning, and they'll run parts all week without reapplication. And the factories that use it love it because it's environmentally friendly, it's water-based, it lasts a long time, it actually protects the molds, and we have high temperature capability. And so this is a product that's become kind of the industry standard worldwide. It was developed, by the way, by DuPont, and Stoner bought this business about 12 years ago. Okay, let's go to the next one. So all of our water-based technologies have these same advantages. It's better for the workers. It's better for the environment. There's no special shipping or storage. In the case of many Asian countries, products with high VOCs or that are flammable require government reporting. Also, it's better for the mold because it enhances the mold durability. It's an extremely clean water-based product, so there's less buildup or discoloration, and it also prevents plate out. So it's a wonderful product. So we're going to give you a couple of case studies for Trisis 420. The first one is in northern China in Hubei, and we had a rotational molder there that was using a product that was not very efficient. They could only make 4 to 5 parts, and they had a lot of pockmarks and pinholes, and so they had a pretty high rejection rate. And they were using this product to make polyethylene oil tanks. Okay, that's a picture of the customer part, and they switched to 420 after extensive testing because they realized they could make over 30 parts with our product. And when they looked at the cost per part, it was almost 4 times more cost effective than the local Chinese competitive product. Okay. And so here's another one from China in Foshan in the south. And this was a really interesting application. Our China team was running fast during COVID because China was making COVID vaccines, and they needed thermal boxes, basically large eskies or coolers, to ship these around the world because the product had to maintain its temperature. And they were using, all of the factories were using solvent-based mold release, and they were restricted due to flammability. Also, the workers were not happy because they had really strong odors, and they were kind of afraid of these products. And so they were looking for a solution. Let's go to the next one, please. And so there's a picture of some of the customer parts, and they switched to using Trisis 420 because they wanted a product that was water-based, and they could store it and ship it without government regulation or reporting. And they wanted better safety for their workers. And it turned out that they got many, many more releases than the Chemtrend solvent-based product. And so it actually was more cost effective in the long term. Okay. So we'll show you a little video of what application of Crisis 420 looks like. This is filmed in a real factory in the US, a rotational molder. And then we have another product called Trices 520. And this is for high heat and open flame rotomolding applications. Trices 520 has pretty much the same advantages as 420, but it's just made for higher temperature open flame applications. So it's a water-based semi-permanent release. You can make many parts with it. It can go up to 315 degrees C or higher, and it provides a clean, constant release, preventing mold buildup. And again, it's water-based, solvent-free. Let's go to the next one, please, Sam. And so all the same advantages, better for people, better for the environment, no regulatory issues, and it's also better for the mold, cleaner, less buildup, reduces plate out. And so in open flame applications, this has become the go-to water-based product. Okay. And then we do have some other water-based products so we bought a company called Releasemers, and we also have 448. It's also a water-based semi-permanent, and this is for more aggressive polymers that are difficult to mold. And it's also has most of the advantages or all the advantages of our Trices series. Okay. And again, very, very good for the people and the environment. A little tip with chemicals: if you see a chemical in a plastic container, chances are it's water-based. And if you see it in a metal container, chances are it's solvent-based. So this is a water-based, environmentally safe product to use. Okay. And I'm going to turn this over to Jim, because one of the reasons that our two teams came together was because of the enhanced product. We have a product called Rotoflow, and our product is an aerosol product that has solvents in it. And Jim's team has developed a water-based equivalent that we actually sell around the world, but we source it from Jim's team.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. So as you mentioned, that's how the relationship came together during our live or online webinars during COVID. But Enhance has been around since, would have been around since around 2013 when we first developed this and released it to the market. So essentially, as you say, it facilitates the flow of polyolefins and really helps voids around inserts, tight radii, threads where you may have experienced pinholes and deep cavities. So it does a wonderful job of reducing that bridging, any thinning, blowholes, and static lines. So essentially a polyethylene wax-based emulsion product, which when you spray it onto your mold surface, it acts as a glue or something which all the plastic fines will attract themselves to and help with building up the material in those areas. So I believe we may have a small video or short video on one of our following pages. But yeah, some other points there, again, is about improving your product quality. The big one is pinholes. Does a wonderful job of removing pinholes and those voids, blowouts, making sure that those inserts are not going to pop out when you screw them a bit tighter. It gives some awesome strength around them. And of course, if you've got a part that's going to be scrapped, it's going to improve all areas of that and productivity. So again, super safe product, being water-based, no CFCs or HCFCs, propellants or solvents in the bulk formula. In the aerosol version, there will be some form of propellants, of course.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a case study from the U.S., and this one is for Rotoflow, and we have an outdoor playground equipment company in Pennsylvania, and they were making playground equipment, and when you looked at it up close, there were a lot of pinholes, and the resin basically couldn't flow efficiently into the corners. And so they were having to reject some parts, and it was costing them time and money. Let's go to the next one, please. And so here you can see before and after pictures. So the applicator would spray Rotoflow into the part on the mold, and on those difficult to mold parts, the tight radius, places like that, and then they'd get uh, a perfect finish afterwards. And this would work for both the water-based or the solvent-based product. So here's another company in Wisconsin that's an automotive subcomponent supplier, and they were making hydraulic tanks. And you can see the outlets of the inlets and outlets of the tank that hooked up to hoses. The resin wasn't flowing into those areas, so they were having high reject rates. Let's go to the next one, please, Sam. And after they used Rotoflow, sprayed it in those problem areas, the resin would flow into those areas and make consistently usable parts. Here's a third case. This is a maker of kayaks, one of our biggest applications worldwide, and they were in California, and they were experiencing pinholes and some porosity in their surfaces, and it didn't meet their quality specs. So they came to us for help, and we'll show you what parts look like afterwards. So that's the before and after. So this is an excellent product for enhancing quality. Okay, and we'll show you a little film of the Rotoflow version and then we'll show you a film of the water-based version. Okay. Okay, so we've looked at cleaning the mold. We've looked at the water-based mold releases. We've looked at part quality enhancement with flow promoters. So let's look in the last step of the cycle, and that's mold protection. So Stoner has a product called M520 Zip Slip. And basically, this is a product for parting lines on the mold where you tend to get a lot of resin buildup that can lead to pinholes, voids, and even blowholes. So this is a simple product to just apply to the parting lines, and it'll make cleanup of the parts easier. It will reduce the amount of flash that's left behind and also any misalignment or leaks. So let's take a look at that. And this is a product that's used commonly around the world. It's a silicone-based product, preventative product for the parting lines. So here's a couple of case histories. Again, that outdoor playground company in Pennsylvania, they were having a lot of resin on their parting lines building up, and it caused misalignment and gaps in the mold. And they had really nothing to address that. They were trying to use metal scrapers to clean it away. Okay. And so they tried using Zip Slip. They applied it just with a paintbrush, and they applied it occasionally, not with every application of the mold release, maybe once a week or every 2 weeks, and it would it basically eliminated the problem of buildup on the parting lines. So let's take a look at what that looked like. Okay. So I just want to show you one film that will wrap up very quickly the entire Stoner rotational molding process. Okay, take it away, Sam. So I when we talked at the beginning of the seminar in the preparation, I know that we have over 20 attendees. Some are from New Zealand and Australia. And then we have some international partners joining us also from places as far away as Indonesia. And so, and even in Europe. So if you're in one of those non-Australia, non-New Zealand countries, just contact PSI or contact us. And I know it's difficult to transport chemicals from New Zealand into, for example, Indonesia or in Europe. So there's a Stoner distributor in your country that we'd be happy to have serve you and help you troubleshoot your rotational molding process. Okay, are there any questions or comments for Jim or I?
Well, if there's nothing that's come forward, that's awesome. Glad everyone can make it today, and just want to thank you again for your time. Much appreciated.
Yeah, and we will follow up as well with a webinar recording. So expect to see that next day or early next week with the recording of today's webinar.
Excellent. All right, with that, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you might be. Good evening.
Okay, thank you
Thanks,
for
Tom.
joining us.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.